Hello again, it's Ashi from Crafting with Ashi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've got another project for you today and this is the project we're making. It's this little container, as you can see. It has the slanted corners and you can use this to store cards, or even you can use it to install your embossing folders. So you can see here, it stores your embossing folders nicely, or you can put your cards in, whatever you want. It's multifunctional. So let's go ahead and make it. So let's put that aside then. So you're going to start off needing a piece of cardstock that's 12 by 12, and I'm using here basic black. And I've actually got a template here that I'll show you that fits over our piece of cardstock. And this is how I do all my templates, and then I write down on the template everything I need to know. So here I've got all my score lines and everything, so let's get started. Now it doesn't matter which side you start on because they're both the same length. So on this one score line I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, and then again at 3.5, 8.5 and 11.5. Now you're just going to turn it 45 degrees, and on this side it's very easy. You're just going to score it at 6 and then again at 9, and that's it. That's all the scoring that you need to do. So let's move the scoreboard out the way. Okay, so now we're going to fold on all of these score lines. Okay, so to do this it's usually very useful if you have your bone folder, which I don't, so let me just get that quickly. Okay, sorry about that. So we're just going to fold on all these score lines. So let's do this little one here at the end first. And you want a nice crisp fold to help this whole thing fit together nicely. So let's do it like that, and then this last little one at the end, and then these two here. Okay, let's fold that there. Okay, so now we've folded on all of our score lines. Just straighten my grid paper, I can't stand it when it's wonky. Okay, so now we're going to have it facing us with this long section here at the top. So you have this long section here, and the short one and the smaller one here, and then these two short ones at either side. So now I'm just going to fit over my template so you can see what we're going to do. We're going to take away all of the square here and the short bit, and the same on the side, and then here we're going to take away the two short bits and just a little bit on each of the other squares, so that it just folds up nicely. So that's how it's going to look. Oops, I'm not totally in shot. That's how it's going to look. Okay. Okay, so let's get cutting. So let's remove the template. If you remember, we're going to cut all of this big square here. So you're just going to cut along the score lines, right up to that score line there, and then here we're going to cut up to the second score line. So that removes that chunk, and don't chuck away these bits because you can still use those bits, so keep those for your scraps. So we're going to cut again up here, and then again, whoop, I can't see very well through the camera, up to the score line, remove that bit. And then, as I said, we need to separate these two pieces, so we're going to cut again up to the score line, and then we're going to cut off just a little bit here, and then we're just going to mitre the corners so that we get a good fit. So I'm just going to take a little bit off that side like that, so you just need a little bit like that. You're going to take off each side. You're going to do the same we're going to do the same on the other side. So let's separate this bit. Okay, and then we're just going to take off a little bit. Not the exact size how much you take off, but don't take off too little. Don't take off too much rather, otherwise you're going to have no side to your box, which is never a good thing. Okay, so get rid of that rubbish there. Okay, so that's all the cutting done. So if we lay that out flat and then lay our template over the top, you can see, way, they match. Always a good thing. Alright, so now we're going to do some gluing. Okay, and we're going to want to put adhesive. If we turn this over, you're going to see we're going to want to put adhesive here and here and here. You see on my template, it tells you the same thing. Adhesive there, there and there. But before we do that, we actually do a mitre. Well, not a mitre, rather, our sloped corners. I'll show you how to do that. To do that, I find the best way is to fold everything in, get a pencil, fold everything in the way it would fold in when you make the box. So you're going to fold these two bits up here to the front, and then that bit up like that, and that's going to make your box. So if you just hold that together like that and just make a little line with a pencil there, and do the same thing on this side, make a little line with a pencil. This is the best way. There's no point giving you a measurement, because if you haven't cut exactly right or scored exactly right, then it's not going to come out looking perfect, and we want perfect, don't we? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line from that pencil mark we've made there to this score line here. So let's just do that. Let me do that. Take the pencil. Sorry if I have to put my head in the camera. I can't see very well. Do that there. And now we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. We're going to make a line from that pencil mark to the end of that score line there. And I promise you, when you're doing it yourselves, it will look much easier than I make it look. Right, so now we're just going to cut that away. It's a bit we can all do, is the cutting bit. Now if you want to cut this using the trimmer, this diagonal, you can, but I actually find it easier just to freehand it. Just follow your pencil line and cut. Okay. Last little bit. Alright, done. Get rid of those bits. Right. So, now we are definitely ready for adhesive. So, the adhesive I'm going to use is the Fast Fuse. Now, some people come right with this, some people hate it. It's up to you. You can either use the Fast Fuse or you can use our tear and tape, whatever you find the best. I find the Fast Fuse easy. I don't find a problem with it, so I'm just going to put it, as I said, here on this little tab. So just lift it. There we go. And again on that little tab, and then some on these big tabs here, and then there again. Now you see, if it does that, it's not coming in. Just put it around with your finger. Right, there we've got adhesive, but whatever adhesive you do use, it needs to be a strong one. Otherwise your box is going to fall apart, and we don't want that, do we? So now we're going to make it easier. We're going to bring this side up to meet that score line. And we're going to bring this side up, so that is to meet there. You can see, make a nice corner. Do the same on the other side. Going to take that one, that wall, meet that wall, and just at the bottom that you want to make sure you've got it matches. And then you're going to bring these two in here on the side, and you're just going to match the sides up like that, and like that. And there we go. Done. We don't want to just leave it like that. That looks ugly, doesn't it? Just by itself, all dark, dreary and greary, a bit like the English weather at the moment. So we want to pretty it up. So I decided to use some Designer Series paper here to make it pretty. And this is the Playful Palette Designer Series paper. It's one of our small 6x6 Designer Series stacks, and I've got 3 pieces here. This measures 12 centimeters by 7, and that's going to go on the front. And then for the sides, I've got 2 little pieces that match 7 by 7. So let's put those ones on now. Okay, let's get some adhesive. Whoops, taking that with me. So we're just going to, whoops, that's sticking to me, which is never a good thing. So you just want to try and line it up in the centre. Centre it if you can. There we go. So that's that piece. And this is this Sweet Sugar Plum that I've mentioned before that I love. This is that colour. So let's do it on both bits. Okay, so that should be enough adhesive on it now. And again, just centre it here on the side and lay it down. Not centred. Yeah, it'll do. And then we're going to do another bit here. Okay, so it's starting to look nicer, but wouldn't be Stampin' Up if we didn't do some stamping now, would it? So let's put that aside there, and now we're going to do some stamping. So what you're going to need for the decoration here, you're going to need some very vanilla cardstock, just a bit of scrap, and then you're going to need some black cardstock and some Sweet Sugar Plum cardstock. Now I've already cut out the black and the Sweet Sugar Plum out of some scraps, and I'll show you the dies that I used to cut these out. So it was these dies here, and these are carried over from our last catalogue, and they're called Lots of Labels Framelits, and this is how I store them. So you can see they're very versatile framelit. You get all of these sizes, and you can see I used for this one 1, 2, 3, 4 from the outside, and then the Sweet Sugar Plum is 3rd from the outside. Okay, so let's do some stamping. Then we're going to stamp up the sentiment. So let's put that out of the way. So we're going to be using the Sweet Sugar Plum ink pad. This is one of our new ink colours that I love, and this is the stamp set we're going to be using. It's called Thoughtful Banners, and you can see all the sayings that are on there. Really versatile set, and it comes with the matching punch, which is here. There you go. So you can buy these two together as a bundle, so that, and save money, so that's always a good thing. So let's do some stamping. I've got a piece here of very vanilla cardstock, and I'm going to stamp first our banner, which is this one. I'm going to stamp. Let's stamp it. There we go. Going to stamp it in the Sweet Sugar Plum. There we go, lovely. Okay, let me close this up. I always close up my ink pads once I've used them, otherwise for sure I'm gonna put my finger in them, put my elbow in them, get it on my clothes, anyway, you name it, it'll go. So got in habit of always closing them up. So this is the black archival ink, our basic black archival ink. I'm going to stamp the Oh Happy Day, ink it up. I'm going to stamp that in that banner bit. Don't want to put my head in the camera, but can't see very well. Okay, not too bad. Oh, happy day. So we've got that. Close this one up. So now we're just going to punch this out. Have it. Just put it with a punch. And you just want to line it up. Which I'm not very good at, but we'll give it a go. There we go. Okay. So there we have our Oh Happy Day sentiment. Now you're just going to take a piece of Sweet Sugar Plum scrap and you're going to cut out the banner again using that piece of scrap. Just the top banner you need. Just cut it out. There we go, using that bit of scrap. Okay, and then all I've done here is cut the banner in half. And then we're just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back here. If I can find my adhesive, there it is. Oops, bit of cardstock. Okay, and then we're just going to line it up, get the right bits. Line it up, and all I've done here is lined up these two bits here, as you can see, like that. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm just going to line up these two bits like that. Just going to, maybe if I zoom in a bit, you'll be able to see a bit better. So I'm just going to do like that. So that's that piece done. So now to bring back our two pieces of cardstock here. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of this one. See if it does that. It doesn't want to come out. Just roll it with your finger and it'll come. Plenty of adhesive on there, more than I need. So you've put the adhesive on. Now you're just going to centre them up. If you get it right on 3 corners, the other corner will come right. Or so I'm told. Yeah, that'll do. So now we're just going to put adhesive on the back of our banner. You could also pop it up if you want, but I'm just going to keep it here on the back of the banner, like that. You can have it wherever you want, but I'm just going to put it a little bit further down. There we go. Not too bad. Okay, so let's put our rhinestones in place. So, sorry about the thing. I'm going to put some rhinestones here. You can see I've used these smaller ones in the inside here. Where did that one go? It wants to stick to me rather than a piece of paper. There we have it. There. And then I used a bigger one on the outside. Come on. You want to, don't you? Of course you do. There's nothing more you want to do than stick to this piece of paper. Right, there we go. Okay, so there's our little piece. So now we're going to just make the bow, and we're going to use some of this, which is a very vanilla thick baker's twine. You can see it's much thicker than a normal baker's twine. So I've already made the bow, because I'm sure you don't want to see me sitting here fiddling with this bow, because I tell you it took me a while to make this one and it's not the best. So now I'm just going to use some glue dots to anchor it. So it's fine, it's glue dot. Just going to put the centre, and now that's sticking to me. Just going to put that down there. Okay, so there we go. There's, sorry, I'm not in frame. There's a little piece. So we're just going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back. Maybe I should bring you back out a bit. It'll be easier for you to see. Whoops, wrong way. There we go. I'm just going to put one on either side there. Take our dimensional off. Wanting to stick to my nail wraps, but anyway, put that on the front, and there we go. That's our box done. So just clear everything away. There's that one, and there's the one I did before. Bring you out. So there we go. 2 boxes to use whatever you want. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, just leave me a comment. If you've got any feedback or anything, leave me a comment. I will link below to the blog post with all the instructions and measurements and everything, as well as a link to the supplies that I used in this video. Till next time, happy crafting. Bye.